So right now I'm heading to Westlake to pick up a new project car. I'm pretty excited because it's a car that I've been wanting for a while, and my mom is taking me. She gets angered, very angered. But we're heading right now to go look at it. Well, I already looked at it, but right now we're gonna tow it because it doesn't run, and it's gonna be a pretty dope project. So I'm gonna show you guys, and this clip is gonna be a day before the actual vlog or a couple days. So this is just a little small clip of me actually getting it because I want to record picking up my new car.
It's a cute little car.
Yeah? Well, you have to come outside and look at it. You have to come over here. You're gonna reveal the car if I angle it like that.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Static Works. Today, pretty exciting. Not as exciting as the day I got the car, but today is pretty exciting because I'm gonna finally work on it. Should we show them? Do a little walk around?
Yeah, I think you should.
Ready to show the car?
Yes, are you guys ready? Let's go.
This is my E30 that I just purchased about 3 days ago. How I bought this car.
Yes, tell us.
Story time. So I was hanging out at Gonzo's house and I get a message from my dad. My dad's been looking for a project car for a while. One of his favorite cars is an RX-7 FC, and he actually does like the E30s just like I do. So he was looking at a bunch of different cars, but I didn't really know what he actually wanted because I thought he wanted an FC. And he sent me this car, and it was on sale on Craigslist for $900, which is really cheap. So obviously, in my head, I think something's wrong with it. It's not running, or maybe it's automatic. I call him up and I tell him, let me go get it. I'll go pick it up. You know, I can finally have a project car because it's in my budget. Static Works, we're poor here, like I always tell you. He told me he actually wanted to build it as his project car, but he wanted to take his time with it and pretty much do a full restoration of it with some aftermarket parts. He told me we can go halfers on it and just build it, him and I, which is really cool because I wanted to build something with him. If you guys don't know, E30s have been one of my dream cars for a very long time, and I've been looking into them. I actually was going to trade my E46 for one. I know it's kind of stupid, but I wanted to trade it just because I love these cars. So after some thinking and some talking, we realized that we were gonna have some clashes on how we wanted to build it because I have a different taste than he does. We both have the same taste in cars, but just the way we go about things are a little different, and I was willing to do that, but we just ended up deciding that I was gonna go pick it up. Mind you that I wasn't for sure on actually even picking it up. So I hit the guy up, told him I was gonna go look at it the next day, and I wanted my dad to go with me, but he wasn't able to just because he already made plans. So I went to go check it out with Gonzo, and I noticed a couple things. Obviously the car didn't run, and he let me know that prior, and it was in the description. There is some rust that I spotted in the rear, and I'll give you guys a walk around afterwards. He was asking $900. I told him I'd give him $700 because I, like I said, wasn't expecting to have this running. I just wanted to swap a motor in it later and just be a project that we slowly work on and give you guys some good content while keeping my E46. Long story short, the intake system was taken off, the outer air control valve was removed, and he had all those parts, which is really good. So shout out to him, so I didn't have to go buy any of that. And he had it in the car for me, and I told him $700. He said $850 was the lowest he'll go because obviously these cars go for a lot, and it was already a really good deal. Finally, after some talking, he finally dropped it down to $700. The tow truck did tow it to my house, and I just left it parked outside. The very next day is when I did get it running, and now is a good time to walk you guys around and then pop the hood, show you the interior, and pretty much show you guys what I need to work on and what I did to get it running again, and the first mods we're gonna do. So looking at the front, there isn't too much rust. It's all surface rust. It needs a new logo. All the headlights look good except for this one does have condensation in there, so I'm gonna have to clean that out because there is rust. So I'm definitely gonna have to get either a new headlight or try to seal it just so rust doesn't get in there. But obviously since there is rust already, I'm just better off buying a new headlight assembly. This thing can actually be tucked inside, and I'm gonna be making a video on how to tuck it inside to give it a cleaner look. But the front looks really good for its age. The paint obviously isn't the best. It's pretty much done.
Oh, let's show
But
them.
I'm not gonna wrap this, guys. I'm gonna actually paint it. Like this is gonna be a really nice project for me. Looking at the side, everything looks good. No big dents. Looking at the mirrors, they are faded, but I know I can restore them back to black. So shout out to our sponsors, Detail Garage. We're gonna head over there and get some stuff later. But the rear quarter panel on this side is pretty bad. As you can see, it's not too bad, but once you get to right here, that's when you can see the damage, and it did get rear-ended. So, fun fact, this car has only had 3 owners. So it was the main owner, which this accident happened to. The kid who owned it afterwards told me that he just left it like this because he didn't actually drive it for a while, because after the car started idling funny with him, he just parked it for a couple months, and that's when I picked it up. So this whole quarter panel is going to be replaced because they do sell quarter panels at our sponsor's website at ECS Tuning. So check them out. And obviously this has to be cut. So it's going to be a lot of custom work and fabricating. This bumper is also bent. I don't know if I'm going to be able to tuck this in just because of the damage. So I'll probably find another one online. Because I know the market for these are really nice, and you could literally just go to any city and there's someone who's parting out 830s. So that's a good thing about these cars. And this car is a 1984, and that's when it had the 325E. E stands for economical. I'll talk a little bit about why it's economical later. But yeah, they didn't have the eyes for the 3 Series then, which is pretty crazy. Hoonigan sticker, shout out to Hoonigan. It came with the car. I think he slapped it on there, but as you can see, it's pretty, like, we tried peeling it off when we washed it, but it leaves a bunch of residue. So
Yeah, you need your stag stickers to be sticky like this.
yeah, so we're gonna take that off, and then we're gonna put static slap for that. There really isn't much damage, more surface rust that we're gonna have to sand down. The windows do leak, so I do need to put new trim in there. I'm gonna try putting OEM trim if I can. I'm obviously gonna have to go aftermarket. The only thing I added to this car is the shift knob, which I'll show you inside, and a little Squirtle Squad sticker, you know? Yeah. Looking inside, the dash is cracked, but everything else looks pretty good when it comes to the center console, the steering wheel. I did put this ZHP weighted shift knob on it just because the one that it came with broke when I tried removing it. So I'm gonna have to buy another one for my E46 unless I'm just gonna be swapping it back and forth. But as you can see, there is a tear on the seat, tear right there, tear on the other side. But looking at the back looks actually really nice. I did vacuum as much as I can. Since it was sitting outside for a couple months and it was raining pretty hard for a whole week here, the water did get into here and it started smelling a little nasty in there. Now I'm going to be popping the hood, which I didn't know this about E30s. I thought this was actually a mod. I know it sounds pretty stupid, but I tried opening it when the owner was popping the hood, and it doesn't open this way. You have to open it from the back, which is honestly pretty sick. So as you can see, this is how the motor looks. I don't know the mileage just because it did stop working at about like 135. 999. So it's about to hit 136,000 miles. So it's always in good condition.
So how do you keep track of your miles?
You don't. So this 325E has a 2.7 liter M20, which is an inline 6, and it has 121 horsepower and 171 foot-pounds of torque. So it's torquey like a diesel, and it actually redlines pretty early. If you guys didn't notice that in the beginning, as you can see, red lines at about 4,500, which is pretty crazy, but it does have good power, and on the freeway it does save some gas. So that's the whole point of having the 325E, is trying to make it more economical. And the issue that the previous owner was having, or he believed it was having, was this idle air control valve, which is supposed to rattle. So I checked it and it is pretty good. What I think it is, because after I started driving this car for a while, sometimes it wouldn't start and it would just die completely. So I believe it's not building up pressure with the fuel system. So I'm gonna have to check the fuel gauge once that happens, just every morning, try to see what happens. But overall it does look really nice. I did clean it up as much as I can with Stephanie. So the only things that I've spotted were coolant leaking right here on these two hoses that go to the throttle body, which I already have the hoses to replace them, and obviously oil leaks, which happen on pretty much any Beamer. So it is leaking on this side of the engine where the valve cover is, so it's leaking down here. So I'm gonna have to be replacing that, and the only other possibility of it leaking would be the oil pan. So that's something I'm probably going to do as soon as I can, if it is easy to do and I don't have to drop anything, just like my E46. I am gonna do all the maintenance that I need to before I start modding it, but I'll show you guys what I've gotten so far. The first thing that I did get for this car was a new Kenwood stereo. I haven't installed it yet, so I'm probably going to install it today with you guys, just because the stereo on this car doesn't work, and there's power getting to it, so everything's good, and it's just a few wires to it. So I'm going to be wiring this one up. I did get Redline transmission fluid, because this car does take the GL4 non-hypoid gear oil 80W, and this is 75W80, just because this car does grind in second gear only on a cold start, and about once or twice. So maybe this will fix it, because it is a little thinner and it is an old car. And if it doesn't, obviously it's just the synchros wearing out. I did get an OEM oil filter. I always recommend getting OEM or Mobile One or K&N, some really good stuff like that. I do have some engine oil treatment to add to the oil, and I did get oil. I already have a 5-quart, so I just got 1 more quart, and this is for the coolant lines that are leaking. But this is pretty much what I got just to begin the whole restoration of this car, and I am planning on swapping this motor. Comment down below what you guys think I should swap in here. I was gonna go Japanese, I'm not gonna lie, and my dad and a lot of other people were telling me to keep it Euro, so there's a possibility that I might put an E36 M3 motor in here. I just don't know my plans yet, so comment down below what you guys think I should do. Something that's not too expensive that we could probably do here in my garage. This car does need a lot of work, and I feel like every car I get just needs more and more work. My G35 didn't really need anything. My E46 wasn't running, and now this E30 needs a whole new car. Well, for $700, I think it was a steal, and shout out to the guy. I'll have his Instagram down below, because he does have a sick ass 240 and he actually drifts it.
Alright, so Daniel decided to go with the Kenwood stereo.
Do you know what Kenwood is?
Brand?
It is really good. It's a well-known stereo brand, and I wanted to actually keep it factory and original, but since it doesn't work, this is the only route I'm gonna have to do until I buy or find a really good condition OEM stereo. This trim doesn't allow me to actually have a double din, which sucks, because I probably would have gone fancy with it and gotten an Apple CarPlay stereo and Android stereo just like my other car.
Pretty sure this is instructions, so you should read that for sure.
Never did.
Remember the last install on your radio?
No.
Okay.
Here, I got this. Trash.
Warranty?
Never.
You break things.
I know.
Ooh, it's really nice.
Is it?
Looks clean.
It does look really clean. It just sucks because it doesn't really, I mean, I guess it fits the car in some way, just because it's not colorful, and it does light up blue, so it's gonna match the emblems of the BMW, just like this right here. But
ooh, nice shape knob.
Wonder where I got it. ECS Tuning, our sponsors. The next car I planned to get was supposed to be JDM. So I know a lot of you guys want me to build a JDM car, and that's why I wanted to swap a JDM motor in this car. But
that could be your next one.
Yeah, my next car is definitely going to be JDM. It's going to be probably a common drift car, like a 240 or an IS 300, or even a Z. If you want me to build a Z better than Gonzo does, comment down below. So this is supposed to just go down like this on each side. I tried taking it off to find if there was power coming to it, but obviously that I don't need that anymore, so I'm just gonna have to pry it out like that. Try not to break anything. Whenever you pry something, just make sure you pry it evenly on all corners, just so you don't get it stuck or damage anything. But these are the wires for the stereo, and it's not a lot, so I just need to find what goes where, because they're all faded. And this is probably the antenna. Have I ever done a stereo before like this? Never. Alright, so I'm gonna try cutting all these wires because I'm probably gonna have to splice them into the harness anyways that it comes with, if I know where it's at right here. I just need to find out which wires go where and then find the diagram for BMW for the stereo and see where that goes. And then
How about we read the instructions?
yeah, but the instructions won't have the diagram for the stereo.
At least just to install it.
No, I know how to, trust me.
Really?
I'm a lube tech, trust. I know a lot of you guys aren't E30 owners right now in this channel, but if you guys do want to install a stereo on an older model E30 that doesn't have like the 17 pin or whatever pin connector, since this one is really old, I do have a page that tells me what colors go to what colors on the new harness. So I'll leave that down below if you guys want to check that out. Just because I know a lot of people struggle with these on, you know, how to install it and what wires go where, because I couldn't find an EWD for this thing just because it's so old. So shout out to Beamer Forums because they're helping me out, and it's pretty easy. All you have to do is splice specific colors to other colors. So like the white and purple one go to the red, this yellow one goes to the red and green. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Then just make sure to tape it all up. Tape any exposed wires. You do not want them touching anything. Let me just finish all this up real quick and then I'll show you how the new stereo is. That's not loud at all though.
That is not loud.
That's OEM speakers. They sound nice. They sound clear, but they just don't sound loud. We had some issues because some ground wires aren't brown. They're brown and a different color. So we finally figured that out. We had connected everything, and those two ground wires that we didn't connect were the ones to the speakers. But now, as you can see, this is max, so that's not good at all. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be hooking up probably new speakers, and hopefully I can make it louder. I am gonna be buying cheap speakers just because I really don't care about I don't care that much about the whole sound system. I'm gonna buy decent ones, just I'm not into bass. I'm not into all that, the whole, you know, stereo scene. So this is just really nice because now it's gonna fit in the factory spot, and I'm gonna tape up all these splice points and shove it back in there, and hopefully it does look good, because you can see right there it does look really nice, which honestly doesn't even look that bad. It actually looks,
I mean, yeah, it doesn't look like it's, I mean,
hopefully it starts. I'm scared because like I mentioned earlier, the car sometimes just dies on me. So started. Good. Oof. All right, let's take it for a drive. The clutch is worn because the high point is really high.
very high.
But I want to show you guys how it looks like driving this big old, well, inside it looks big. It's a big ass steering wheel, like a
Looks
boat.
like a boat.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
On second gear? The synchros must be worn, but not too worn to the point where like it might not grind if I switch to a thinner weight. So hopefully I can do that. But honestly, it does feel really nice. The windows work, which they are power. Everything pretty much works power-wise. The mirror is a little rusty, so I am going to be getting a Broadway mirror. But honestly, everything, you can see that. Ooh.
Your brake lights are up.
Brake light, washer fluid, because I removed that while cleaning it. My engine oil is low, so I definitely have to check that now, which I'm gonna do an oil change. It's just that it's leaking oil pretty bad.
And
so
coolant.
what I like is all those work, which pretty much doesn't have OBD. OBD 2 has OBD 1, so every company has their own little connector. So that's a little warning thing, and you can even test the lights. But all in all, it does drive really nice. I love driving it. I've driven it every day since, and I've given my E46 a little break just because I beat the shit out of that thing, and it's nice to finally have something different and something new and something old that I can bring back, because I love seeing the change over time. And this Yeah, Miata gang. I know with this build, it's going to need a lot of work and it's gonna bring so much content for you guys to watch, because I know some of you guys are E30 fans and I definitely am one, and this is, like I said, this is one of my dream cars, and it's nice finally having one and buying one for $700, which honestly is
A steal?
it's a steal. I mean, even not running is a steal. A shell would be that much, but obviously it doesn't need work like rust. The engine needs work. It still runs. I'm pretty sure the compression's gonna be good if I check it, because there's no milky residue in the oil, so obviously no head gasket problems. It's just, it burns oil, leaks oil, but every Beamer does that. And then the coolant issue. Jesus, I'm dropping change. This is my new baby girl, my new dream car, and can't wait to start building it. So on that note, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you guys on the next one.